Alright everyone, so today we got the monkey legend himself, the Black Myth Wukong. This game has hit the market running. So today we're going to go over the 1080 Ti to see the performance at 1080p performance on medium, very high, and cinematic performance. This graphics card may be an older graphics card, but it does put out some power, especially with its 11 gigabytes of VRAM. From the test that I have done, this is just a 1080p. I have also done a 4K video as well. If you do like these kind of videos, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. So as you can see here on the medium settings, I did put the super resolution quite low. I do raise it as I put it on higher settings, so that way you can see in-game and world performance for the 1080 Ti. If you're looking for a 60 frames per second steady gameplay, the 1080 Ti is a fairly good choice as long as you don't put the super resolution past 50. The cinematic performance looks quite good in this game. So right now we are currently at medium settings. We're hitting just around 100 frames, a little over 100 frames per second at medium settings, low super resolution. This is 1080p at 1080 Ti. Let me know in the comments section below if you play this game. It has hit the market quite hard and a lot of players are using it. This right now is the Wukong benchmark. So if you go into Steam, you can download the benchmark. If you have a lower end PC, you can test out roughly what frames you can get at what settings without even trying the game. All in all, at medium settings, Black Myth Wukong with a 1080 Ti performs quite well. If you like these kind of videos, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. So we hit a average of 109 frames per second, a maximum of 124, a minimum 40, and our low is 99. It uses a total of 4.1 gigabytes of VRAM at these settings, 1080 Ti. I am currently using a 12600K, but it's been heavily overclocked, same with the RAM, so that way I can get maximum performance out of the graphics cards that I'm going through. The 1080 Ti is the first one on the list. Next off, we're going to go to very high settings. Keeping the super resolution quite low. If you do not have a well-tuned PC, as in the RAM and the CPU, and you have a fairly good graphics card and you put super resolution to max on very high or cinematic performance, you can crash. I have done this test many times, and I find with super resolution too high with a not well tuned PC, so I would do some not so nice tunings on this system and it would crash every time. So try to have either stock performance on the CPU and on the RAM, or know that your RAM and your CPU are running quite smoothly at the overclock that you have it on. Again, this game is quite heavy, even on medium settings. Currently we are on high settings with a super resolution of 75. If I did put the super resolution to 100 at very high settings, if I had my RAM set too high of a frequency with not enough voltage, it would crash. If I did have the CPU overclocked a bit with not enough voltage, or load line set, as the load line does help with overall performance too, it would crash. I find you do need a hefty CPU to play this game. An i7 3770K is not enough. An i7 4770K is not enough. You can get 60 frames per second, but you're on low settings on everything. And it's not a steady 60 frames, so it's not in my benchmark. So as you can see here with the 1080 Ti, 48 gigabytes of RAM, 12600K, overclocked to 4.8 gigahertz on the P cores and 3.6 gigahertz on the E cores. We're doing about 50 frames, just below 50 frames per second right now. Again, if I did lower the super resolution, it does help performance quite a bit. But if you're going to be trying to run higher settings, you would want to run a higher super resolution, as it does make the game look a lot better. So you can tweak the super resolution to your liking, but more or less do not have super resolution too high if you do not have a CPU that can handle it or a GPU that can handle it. And also your RAM needs to be very stable, as this game does use quite a bit of RAM power. We're using about 5.2 gigabytes of VRAM on this one, 49 frames per second average, a 57 frame max, a 25 frame per second min, and a 45 for the low. So next off here, we're going to set it to cinematic performance. Now, cinematic performance, to some that don't know, have not tried this benchmark or played the game before, cinematic performance is the maximum you can set the graphics to. So it's the best graphics you can set it to. As you can see in the right side, it's all red saying it's a lot of power, it could crash. Again, super resolution, not cranked, as if I do have it cranked on cinematic performance, there are chances to crash, especially while recording. Overall, this looks so good on 1080p. This is not even 4K. Still doing about 50 frames per second. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of the quality of this game. Again, this is just 1080p. Crank settings, of course. I do record at 120 frames per second, but I can only upload at 60, and it's only going to show, it will show all the flaws in the game, as you see 42 frames per second currently. It will show that it's not quite as smooth as what it should be. The game's so vibrant, has so much like depth to it. On the cinematic, it just looks so good. Again, if you have a 4K monitor, I do have a video coming out. If you guys would like to see it, I can leave a link in the bottom and you can just click on that. And I have 4K from low, medium, very high, and cinematic performance on 4K. Again, if you do like this kind of video, I'm going to be posting out more graphics card benchmarks for this test. This is the 1080 Ti at 1080p, cinematic performance, and then I'm going to be doing also a 1070, a 2080 Super, and a 3070 Ti. And if you guys like those videos, I'll show a overclock video on how you can get better performance out of your CPU, RAM, and graphics card. I'll start with DDR3, then I could do some DDR5 as well. Not bad performance, an average of 45, maximum 54, a minimum of 39, a low of 40. I used about 5.3 gigabytes of VRAM. Thank you for watching, everyone. This test did take quite a while to record and get down right, so that way I can get the recording done at a smooth rate. If this video is something that you like, if this content is what you like, please hit a subscribe button, hit that like button. Again, as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to get her done.